Straight ahead on 12 News, a focus on volunteers.
There is a real sense of doing something very special.
We shed the light on some of the most dedicated helpers in our community. But first, a developing story in the Barway Collins case. 2 days after the child's body was found, the boy's father has been arrested. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Monday afternoon, police arrested the father of Barway Collins, Pierre Collins.
After the boy's body was found Saturday, the case quickly shifted to a murder investigation.
We have team coverage on the case. Sonia Goins was at the Crystal apartment complex where the boy lived. She has community reaction, but first we start with reporter Delane Cleveland and the latest on the arrest. Delane?
Yeah, Alex and Shannon, I'm here at Crystal City Hall where Pierre Collins was taken shortly after his arrest. Police then took him downtown for booking a little after 3 p.m. today. Meanwhile, for the people who have worked tirelessly to find Barway Collins since he was reported missing last month, well, they had their worst fears confirmed.
There's nasty things that happen in this world.
Saturday afternoon, North Mississippi Regional Park became a full-fledged crime scene as a swarm of investigators responded to a 911 call from a group of volunteers who said they found a body along the river.
The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived on scene and were directed by these volunteers to the riverbank. Deputies did locate and recovered the deceased victim about 20 feet from the shore.
Sunday afternoon, the medical examiner confirmed that the body was indeed that of 10-year-old Barway Collins.
This missing person investigation is now a homicide investigation.
Crystal Police Chief Stephanie Revering indicated at a news conference that Barway's father, Pierre Collins, remains a primary suspect.
We have acquired his passport to ensure that he does not travel outside the United States.
When we'd all find Barway.
It's a somber end to a weekend that started with hope, as dozens of people, including Barway's parents, came together at the Crystal apartment complex where Barway was last seen.
I've been here every week, either handing out flyers or doing searches with the teams.
I know it's going to be okay. So that alone make me to go back every day, that I believe in the Almighty God.
The group
How do we get to the river?
made their way to the Mississippi River and embarked upon what would ultimately be
Not the way you want it to end, obviously.
the final search for the missing 10-year-old.
We'll continue to work around the clock with our partners from the FBI, BCA, and Hennepin County Sheriff's Office to make sure that justice will be served for Barway.
The Hennepin County Medical Examiner is still investigating the manner and cause of death. Meantime, a spokesman from the county attorney's office says that they received the case today and they have until Wednesday at noon to officially file charges against Pierre Collins. Reporting live in Crystal, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
All right, Delane at the Crystal Police Department. As you can imagine, the news of Barway's death is affecting those who knew him and those that had never met the boy.
Reporter Sonia Goins has been following this story since it first broke. She picks up our team coverage with reaction from the community.
Now, Alex and Shannon, I'm at the apartment complex where you can see a memorial for Barway is growing. There's been many people stopping by to bring all kind of teddy bears and other items. There's been mixed reaction from the community, from people who say they're very sad to those who are downright angry that someone could do this to a little boy.
I'm a mother. I'm hurting right now just to know that this little boy had to die in the arms of maybe somebody he knows.
Barway's death was too much to take for Magdalene, who has a 12-year-old daughter.
Sad, heartbroken. It's tough to know that as parents, we should protect our children and not harm them.
It's a very difficult time for students and staff and families.
The news of Barway's death is surreal to students and staff at Evergreen Park World Studies Elementary, where Barway was a fourth grader.
The last day I remember him, he was holding the door open as a group of students left through that door number 8 and then got into his van and went home.
Counselors were on hand to help students and staff cope with the tragedy. Officials say they want to keep things as normal as possible while remembering the little boy who made so many people happy.
We'll remember Barway as a student that smiled a lot, who was helpful, who had energy and had many friends.
Barway's body was found Saturday by a group of volunteers, which included several Boy Scouts.
I must say, collectively, the community is who found Barway.
Shalia organized the search and says while death brings closure, it's still pretty hard to take in.
I actually broke down to my knees and cried because it's terrible that anybody would do this to a child especially.
Now, Alex and Shannon, later on today, the Liberian community will be meeting here to talk about bringing Barway's biological mom back to the States so she could attend his funeral. In Crystal, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Sonia. We want to give you a quick timeline of this case over the past 3 weeks. Barway Collins was last seen on Wednesday, March 18th at 4 p.m., getting dropped off on his school bus outside his apartment. Video shows the boy saying, "There's my dad and there's my uncle." On March 24th, Crystal Police held a press conference indicating the boy's father, Pierre Collins, has not been truthful. 2 days later, police indicated that they have strong evidence Pierre Collins was near the Mississippi River at the time of the boy's disappearance. On April 6th, the family attends a press conference. Pierre's pastor indicates the school bus video cannot be explained, and the father denies he saw Barway. Then on Saturday, the child's body was found, and of course today, as we learned, Pierre Collins has been arrested.
Moving to other news now, in Brooklyn Park, the fire department is investigating the cause of a fire that badly damaged 2 apartment units. Crews were called to the fire Sunday afternoon at the Autumn Ridge Apartments at 63rd and Boone. The fire displaced 2 adults and 3 children. No one was hurt.
The drive into work Tuesday should be a slow one on I-494, but perhaps not as slow as it was for Monday morning commuters. This morning, there was only one southbound lane open on 494 as lane configurations were not completed in time due to Sunday night's storm. As a result, traffic was backed up this morning all the way to Rogers, doubling the normal travel time. The planned switch to move all traffic to the northbound lanes should be ready for Tuesday morning's commute, leaving 2 lanes now open for southbound and 1 for northbound. Coming up, sluggish or full steam ahead? We'll have a Brooklyn Center Company's perspective on the economy.
And then later in sports, action from the season opening adapted softball tournament hosted by the Robins.
But first, an unbelievable forecast Tuesday, blue sky and beyond pleasant.
Welcome back, everybody. It may be several years since the recession, but climbing back takes time.
In Minnesota, many businesses are rebounding, but it is a slow process. In this week's Business Matters, a look at what the slowed economic growth nationally could mean long term.
My guys are really busy right now. There's a lot of product moving off the shelves and into the trucks.
On the manufacturing floor of Cast Screw Company, employees work overtime to try and keep up with the demand for parts they're supplying to companies such as Polaris, Toro, and Bobcat.
The end of 2014 has been crazy, and we're at a record pace for the beginning of 2015.
Business is good for Steve Wise, whose company is now up to 126 employees after dropping to around 70 workers during the recession.
It's incredible growth, and there's still so much opportunity out there right now.
Nationally, economic growth is a slower process. A 10-year forecast predicts 2.5% average growth annually in the U.S. That compares to the average of 3.3% growth experienced for the past 6 decades.
We're starting to have a recovery, but if you look at the long-term impact of that recovery, it doesn't look like it is going to be long-lasting.
Long-term slowed economic growth will negatively impact the deficit and national debt and could mean less job growth and lower wages, says Governor John McKernan Jr. of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. On a national tour that included a stop at the Twin West Chamber of Commerce, McKernan and economist J.D. Foster touted tax reform and other national policy changes to spur economic growth.
We need to make some changes in policies that are going to give businesses an incentive to hire more people, to get more people to work, and to really increase the opportunities that you see not only here in Minnesota but across the country.
Small business owner Steve Wise says tax reform would help his business, but he's in a good spot with nearly 10% sales growth this year and plans to expand and boost productivity. The sales growth for Cast Screw Company means they could hire 10 people this year. Still to come, a volunteer who likes nothing better but to come in and clean up a mess, and she will tell you why.
And up next in sports, some of the area's top girls basketball players compete in the Minnesota All-Star Series. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. Time for sports. John's here, going to wrap up the basketball season for us.
Nice
a few more games.
Yeah, nice all-star weekend for some local players who had a chance to showcase their skills as prep players. Many of Minnesota's best girls basketball players from the class of 2015 had the chance Saturday to wear for the final time their high school uniforms at the Minnesota Girls Basketball All-Star Series. West Gymnasium at Carleton College, the site for the two-game event. Game one features the Stars in the white jerseys versus the Stripes in the dark. Adri Juzik of Moose Lake hitting the jumper to give the Stars an early 8-point lead. Hannah Shaw of Park Center is number 21 on the Stripes team. She'll pass to the corner where the three is missed, but Alexia Olson of Red Lake muscles in for the offensive rebound, gets the putback for 2 points. Number 22 in blue, Maddie Giebert of Eastview. The assist here on this hoop by Edina's Jill Morton. Her bucket help gives the Stripes the lead into halftime. At halftime, Hopkins coach Brian Cosgrove recognized as one of the 2015 inductees into the Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Cos. Back to the game, second half. Giebert lets fly a long three. She had 7 threes in the game and was later named Miss Basketball for 2015. Shaw passes inside to Bria Barfnick of Delano, misses, but the ball gets passed back out to Shaw, who hits the jumper, helping the Stripes down the Stars. 99-82 the final. Game two, it's white versus blue. Hopkins TT starts with the white team driving and scoring, getting her team's first basket of the game. Azaria Jackson Sherrod of Benilde St. Margaret's hits her first basket of the game here, and she'll lead her team in scoring this day with 16 points. In transition, Monica Burrich of Roseville, the Gracia Gilworth of McKinney Academy. Blue team goes up by 8. Haley Barker of Maple Grove, another local player on the white team. She'll drain a 3 and netted 10 points in the game. Maranatha Christian Academy's Lexi Lee strips the ball away here and gets a layup. Lee scores 12 points for her team. Second half, Barker will get the ball outside, make a nice move to get to the basket and score, but it's not quite enough in this game. The Blue All-Stars will win it. 102-90 is the final in game two. In prep baseball, Hopkins started the season on the road Friday. The Royals visiting the Irondale Knights. Hopkins works out of an early jam. Second baseman Tommy Gleason fields it, makes a quick tag, then throws over to first to complete the double play and end the bottom of the first inning. Second inning, runners at first and third for Irondale. And the pitch in the dirt, Max Wiesner throws high to second into center field. And that allows Kyle Livengood to score, and it's 1-0 Knights. Hopkins gets on the board with Robbie Palkert at the plate. Pitch in the dirt allows John Cook to score to even it up 1-1. Palkert on the mound for Hopkins. He'll field his position well here, ranging toward third base to make a nice play. And gets the out at first and keeps it a 1-1 game. We go to extra innings. The go-ahead run scores on another wild pitch. Nathan Nelson dashes in for the Royals as they take their first lead at 2-1 in the eighth. They win at 2-1, but lost 11-1 to Egan on Saturday. In adapted softball, the Robbinsdale Hopkins Mound West Tonka Robins hosted the Lloyd Olson Invitational Friday and Saturday. Robins PI team facing South Suburban in the first round. Jordan Klein of the Robins with a blooper up the middle. Andy Hansen and Matthew Adams score to make it 4-0 in the bottom of the first. Andy Dubasar's chopper scores another run as the Robins get the maximum 5 runs in the first and second innings. Third inning, Jordan O'Donnell knocks it back to the pitcher to score Dubasar, and it's 11-2 Robins. South Suburban gets some offense, though. They hit the deep left field, scores 2 runs. The Flyers pull to win 11-5 in the 5th inning. Robins escaped the inning thanks to a great catch by Sean Johnson. This keeps it 11-5. The Robins added 3 more runs in the 5th inning and win it 15-5. However, they lost their 2 games on Saturday. Also in the PI division, Anoka Hennepin facing Rochester. Highlights from game 2. Muhammad Sahil getting the infield hit to score Tyler Azell, and Anoka Hennepin ties the game at 1-1. It's a good defense by pitcher Azell, fielding the one hopper, runs to second for the out, and then gets the double play on the throw to first. Third inning, Stevie France with a hit to right for Anoka Hennepin to score Amanda Wallen for a 2-1 lead. And later, Azell will bounce into a forced play at third, but France scores, and it's 4-1 Mustangs through 3 innings. Finally, watch a defensive gem, a diving grab by France on the pop-up. Anoka Hennepin wins 6-1, and they go 3-0 to win the tournament. The Mustang CI team also took first place. And that's a look at sports.
All right, thanks, John. We'll be right back.
Every once in a while, it's good to get a pat on the back.
Yeah, that's right. The staff here at 12 News got a few pats on the back this weekend, and we wanted to share the news with you. At the Midwest Journalism Conference, we received 11 Eric Severeid Awards. This included 3 first-place finishes and 8 awards of merit in categories ranging from individual stories to series to our sports coverage. Every day, our job bringing the news to you is a team effort, so we want to say thank you, especially to all the people who work behind the scenes producing award-winning work. Well, there are many unsung heroes who strive every day to make their corner of the world a little bit better.
This week is National Volunteer Appreciation Week, and in honor of that, we are going to highlight a few volunteers who give back, starting with volunteer Ramona Richter at Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners.
I like the challenge.
At Resale 101 in Plymouth,
I like to make it look pretty.
Ramona Richter loves nothing better than to come in and clean up a mess.
When I come in and it's all messed up, I like that because you know why? I know the customers have been touching it and asking about it. If it's all the same, I haven't done my job.
This 81-year-old volunteers about 8 hours a week on the jewelry counter.
Merchandise it, price it, make it look pretty.
Using the retail savvy she developed during her career at Dayton's.
The challenge is to, with all the wonderful donations we get, grouping it together to make it look real, very inviting.
Ramona is one of more than 200 volunteers who donate time every week at Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners.
We love when we can really make that match to pair somebody up in a position where they're utilizing their skills.
For Ramona, this is a way she can give back to help her community.
There is a real sense of doing something very special.
Using the skills she loves to share.
Do a little work here and you go home and you think, gee, I had a good day.
IOCP has more than 1,800 volunteers who give in a variety of ways every year, and there's more information on how to get involved and what areas need volunteers right now on their website. So check that out. She was a great lady.
I was just going to say, that's what you call a match
That's
between
right.
Ramona and IOCP. That's great.
Absolutely perfect. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here at 4.